It's Life Prepper here. This article was posted by the Daily Sheet, October 13, 2013, and it was posted by Chris Carrington. And it says right here, why I won't be charitable when the shtf happens. It says, okay, so you might want to look it up, check it out here. Some of it got cut off on the title, sorry about that. But it says here, I have learned a great deal since I came on board here at the Daily Sheet. I have read and listened to the opinions of many who are far further down the line of preparation than I am. And although it may make me unpopular, I disagree with some of what they say. Of course, agreeing or disagreeing with someone is purely personal choice. I am not saying they are wrong, just that I disagree with them. Not everybody agrees on everything. When I post a lot of these articles, it doesn't necessarily mean I agree with them. I'm relaying what's in the story here. And then I ask you what you think of the story in the article. So I like your inputs on it. A lot of people, some of them don't like what's in it. Some of them like what's in it. So this here is what he's talking about. He says, take for instance the charity aspect of prepping. Many of the big names in prepping advocates that we should show solid Christian values in times of crisis and lay aside some essential items to give away to those that pass through who are less fortunate than ourselves. In his opinion, not a chance. It has nothing to do with the fact that I have prepared, that I have crimped and saved, and they probably have not. It has nothing to do with greed on my part and to hell with all others. It has to do with the survival of my family. This is just how he feels. This is his point of view, how he feels that screw all y'all, I'm taking care of my family, bottom line. A great deal is made on all prepper sites about OPSEC. Keep it low and not attract attention, and this is where the trouble starts. I know for a fact that if I had given food, water, and maybe a few other essential items by someone I passed along the way, I would remember them. So what he's saying is, if he turns around and he gives you like some soap or whatever, you're not going to forget that person. You're going to wonder if maybe that person's got a little bit more to give you, and whether your act of kindness turn against you. That's what he's talking about. I know that if the survival of my children was at stake and I couldn't provide for them, I would revisit the person that had assisted me in the hopes of getting more supplies. So that's why a lot of them would come back and say, well, you gave me shampoo last time, you gave me a can of beans, can you not give me more? So then he returns again, you give another can of beans, then he comes back again and keeps coming back again. The problem is, when you reach that point, you say no more, what is going to happen? This is what he's talking about. I know I do anything I had to do to keep my kids alive, like you said. Now, if I could trade something, work for the food, I would probably do so. What happened, though, if the answer is no? We're fine, thanks, off you go. Think about this. Put yourself in the position of the people you help. You know this family has enough food to give you some away. It's unlikely you are the only people who have happened by. To a desperate man with starving children, the logical conclusion would be that the family will help you out, have food to spare. So by giving them a bag of beans or rice or whatever, they're feeling that you got food to spare. This is a situation that's going to get ugly very fast, and it will. It will get ugly very fast. I've asked people, I've posted, I said, would you share your food? And people said, heck no. And that's a big question right there. How much do you show? How much do you do for these people? They're knocking on your door and say, I'm out of food. Can you help me? There is a limit on how much you can do for these people. Now, I show people plants and stuff out in the yard. I talk about nature, what they can harvest. But I don't talk about my extra bags of rice or anything like that I have, because I'm just not going to talk about it. And so I will learn from those who know more than me. And I'm extremely grateful that they share their knowledge. But for me, charity really does begin at home. if we are in an shtf situation. I will not risk blowing my OPSEC. I will not risk lying to myself and my family in order to be charitable. But it just isn't going to happen. Every morsel of food I give away to keep my kids going for another day. Every item of clothing I give away could have kept my kids warm in the winter, could have wrapped my future grandchildren, could get passed on the next generation who may have no access to new clothing. We all know it's not a case of if the SHTF, it's a case of when. Be it a natural or man-made disaster, there's no reason to think we are the immune generation, that it won't happen to us. And as you talk the truth there, we are not special in grand scheme of things. We are not different to the other generations that have faced war or famine or pandemic. The list of what can and does go wrong on this planet of ours is long, very long. Should one of these events occur, all of us, no matter how well prepared, are going to struggle to survive. Many of us won't make it for one reason or another. So, it's a lot to think about. And like I say, I've asked people. Now, you can go to this site. It's called the Daily Sheet. Chris Carrington wrote it, and it was published October 13, 2013. So, you know, this is something to think about. You can check into it. I always encourage people to go to these sites and read these articles in more detail. And these are just articles I post. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I do agree with them on some of it. That's a big question on it. Like I say, I'm willing to show people how to get food and stuff off the land. I'm willing to show them what to do there in that event. Am I willing to give them my food? Where does that stop? Where does that stop? That's just it. You might be good friends with somebody, but where does it stop? You could have that family that you're close to, but you also know that not all of them in that family is really good people. You just don't know. You might be good friends with a couple, the parents, but you know how the kids are. The kids could be, go tell their other friends. They could turn around, turn on you, and take the food for themselves. And you know what kind of kid that might be, or anything like that. You just don't know. It's a big what if. Am I willing to share my food with them and take it out of my mouth? Am I willing to give them food to take care of them? The ones that talks about sharing a lot of their food, many of them has made a good living off of these prepper sites. Many of them has quite a bit of money built up where they can afford to stock up on large amounts of food and large amounts of things, and many of them has them in several different locations because they can afford to do that. But for an everyday person like most of us who lives on a very shoestring budget, we don't really have much to give away to anybody and to think about it. So it's a big question. He said he's not going to do it, and I think, and there's a lot of other people say they won't either. The question: what do you think about this article? This life prep here, will you be safe, be happy? Bless you all.